All right, okay, enough of that. Guys, oh, hello YouTube. Do you know what I wanted to do the other day? I'm pretty sure in my video yesterday, I'm still on my 9 miles for last week. Last Wednesday at the gym, I got 8 miles. No, 9 miles. I just said 9. Last Wednesday at the gym, I got 9 miles. And I wanted to get a thumbnail like that to remind myself, because without a thumbnail of me doing this, I would just completely forget. I've already forgotten what video that would be from, you know, like, when did I do that? So should I do it now? It doesn't count now. I didn't do it today. I did just get, well, not back. I'm at the club now, but I am coming from the gym. I was just at the gym. I did just get 7 miles. 7.4 actually. So at the gym today, normally when I go to that gym where I normally go and go on those treadmills, most of the treadmills there are set to 99 minutes. So that's usually what I do. I really like to be able to do that full 99-minute workout when I go there. Today, however, I got 90 minutes today. If I had stayed any longer, I probably wouldn't have been able to get here to the club on time to sign in at the time that I like to try to sign in by. So, at least I was able to go there at all. I mean, it's very rare that I'm able to go to the gym the same days that I work here at the club. That's a rare thing for me. So at least I was able to do it, but it was so close. It was so close to the 99 minutes. And so yeah, I did up to the 90 minutes. I could have, if I had left just a little bit earlier today, I would have been able to have 9 plus the cool down, plus the 5-minute cool down. So I would have been able to have, what is that, 14 more minutes? What's 9 plus 5, 14? I would have had 14 more minutes. Okay, so with the 90 minutes, I got 7.4 miles. I know for an absolute fact, I've gone there enough, like, I've done those workouts many times before, enough to the point where I know for an absolute fact, there's not a doubt in my, like, I know for sure that if I had been able to stay for the full 99-minute workout today, I would have gotten at least 8 miles, over 8 miles, for sure. It was so close. I had a cup of hot cocoa earlier, you know, because it's been so cold lately. And I'd already had 2 cups of coffee before that. And I was just thinking, like, if I didn't have that cup of cocoa, because that took time, like, that was my extra, like, 10 minutes that I could have been at the gym. Like, that was the time right there. If I hadn't had that cup of cocoa, then I would have been able to do the full workout today. And but I wanted the cocoa so bad, you know, because it's just been so cold. It's snowing right now. Like right now, it just started to snow, like me starting the stream. I've actually already signed in for the club today. Normally when I do my streams on here like this, usually it's before I sign in for a shift at the club. But today I've kind of been in a time crunch with trying to squeeze in the gym. So my car is actually off right now. So it is very cold in here. And yeah, it's been so cold as usual in my apartment lately. Like, obviously, like I've mentioned before, I don't have the heat on in there, so obviously it's usually cold in there for the winter time, aka the majority of the year, the majority of the time it's pretty cold in there. It's freezing. It was starting to warm up though. Like a couple weeks ago it was getting better, and then, you know, like I've said before, the way the windows are there, all it takes is one windy day and it's right back to freezing. So it's been back to freezing. even though it's technically spring now, it's been back to a very, very freezing cold in there for the past couple weeks, and just so I really wanted to have the hot cocoa before I left today, and I did, but that took, you know, time, obviously, so whatever. At least I went to the gym. So, okay, so I know my video yesterday was, I was kind of in a bad mood, and I didn't get to watch that back yet, but obviously I remember enough to know that I was in a bad mood for that video. Like, I am PMSing. So I have, this video is probably going to be on the shorter side today because my car is off. So my phone is not charging right now. I want to think I have a decent amount of battery charge to do, I don't know, maybe like a quick half-hour video. It's 4:30 right now, so I started this just before 4:30. I'm pretty sure I started this video at 4:24. So yeah, I'm gonna try to keep this on the shorter side today, which is always a struggle for me anytime I try to do that, but I really have to do that today because it's just cold in here, and yeah, my car is off. There's a few positive things I want to try to just like mention real quick to try to, like, you know, I don't know, just, I know my video yesterday was just like kind of negative, and you know, I always feel bad when I do that. I don't know, so there's a few positive things that I want to mention for today. So let's see. Okay. My workout at the gym. I feel better after doing that. Because the past few days, I mean, yeah, last Wednesday, before today, the last time I had been to the gym was last Wednesday. So it's been quite a few days. Today is Monday. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It had been 4 entire days since I'd been to the gym. And I don't know, like, when I'm PMSing, the gym can make me feel better or worse. And because it has made me feel worse in the past, like, sometimes I just don't feel up to it when I'm PMSing, or like up to anything when I'm PMSing, honestly. Because that's stuck in my head of all the times it's made me feel worse, or the times that I haven't been like up to it, I kind of just sometimes, I hate when I let this happen. I try not to let it happen, but sometimes I'll just like let that feeling override, like, oh, I'm PMSing, I just can't do it. You know what I mean? Like, I'll get that kind of mentality stuck in my head sometimes, when really, like, yes, that is the case a lot of the time when I'm PMSing, but not always. There have still been plenty of other times when my period's been approaching, where I've still been able to do well at the gym. I've still been able to do well here at the club, on stage and on the pole, doing pole tricks. It's honestly like a hit or miss. Like, there are lots of times when I literally can't do anything, like when it's just, but there's also plenty of times when I can still do pretty good. And I just can't, it's another one of those things where I just can't seem to pinpoint what it's gonna be, or how it's gonna be, or what might make the difference with that. It honestly kind of just seems random, like my body's just kind of randomly deciding for me. I really don't know what exactly the determining factors might be with that. But okay, so for today, when I went to the gym today, yeah, I wasn't sure if I was going to be feeling better or worse for doing that. But you know, it had been a few days, and I will say right now though, I am feeling better, thank gosh. I'm so thankful for that. So, and when I got to the gym, when I started that workout, I was feeling pretty bad. When I got on the treadmill, I knew that I was gonna have less time to do that workout. So originally, I was like, let's just do this for an hour. I knew that I would probably have not the entire 99 minutes to work with, but if I wanted to, I probably could have done like almost the full 99 minutes, or like an hour and a half. But I was feeling crappy enough to where I was like, I'll just do 1 hour, and then I'll have extra time after that to get to the club without having to rush. You know, because I hate to rush. I feel like I'm always rushing. And it is bad weather right now. Like, the roads are pretty bad. It's snowing. So I was like, let's just do an hour. And yeah, that was gonna be less time than I could have had, you know? So when knowing that, I was feeling pretty bad, you know, like I wanted to start off with just a walk, but I was like, well, if I'm just gonna do this for 1 hour, let's just not walk too much. Let's try to get into a jogging pace like pretty early on into that. So I did that. And as soon as I started trying to jog, like my upper pillows, my top half, like the girls were like, ouch, you know, just like really not feeling very, like I could just, it hurts. Like, you know what I mean? Like I wanted so badly to just stop jogging and just walk. You know, I was like, F this, I'm not gonna be able to do this today. I felt really bad. But, you know, I did that kind of thing that I'll do a lot of times where I'm like, all right, just get to this time. Just do it for this amount of time, or just get to this mileage point. Like just do 1 mile and then see how you feel. Oh, you know what? So I started off, I was like, let's just go for a 5K. And I was like, so to start off, I was like, let's get at least the first mile, or preferably if I can do the first mile, let's go for a mile and a half, because a mile and a half is almost half of the 5K. So I was like, if I can get to at least that first mile, or better yet, first mile and a half, then I'm halfway through to my 5K. And if I have a full hour to work with, usually when I'm going at a moderate pace, I can get my 5K in about 40 to 45 minutes. So I was like, all right, half of this 5K will be jogging. Once I get to that, I can just go down to a walk and walk for the rest of the time to get to the 5K. And I was like, that should be doable. You know what I mean? So that'll be the 1 hour right there. So I did that. I got to the first mile. I got to the first mile and a half. And then from there, I guess I was starting to feel a little bit better, you know? So I was like, all right, I just kind of kept pushing it a little bit more and more, you know, like I was like, I don't feel like tapping out just yet to the walk to start walking. And eventually I just, you know, got past the 5K mark, and I don't know, like as it progressed, I did eventually, I don't remember when exactly it was, but I just know at a certain point, I started to feel a lot better. I started to feel pretty good. And I really no longer wanted to stop jogging. I was like, okay, this is like, and I was doing my happy pace, where for most of that jogging time, I was at a speed like just under 5. So usually for me to go over 5, I have to be feeling pretty good, you know, like 5, 5.5, 5.5, like that's usually my better days. But if I'm under 5, so 4.7, 4 points, I really like the number 7. So 4.7, that's like my just kind of easier, moderate, kind of light jog, like a light jogging pace. And there was a guy on a treadmill in front of me that was like elderly, and I noticed on his treadmill he was doing the same speed for a lot of his workout. So I was like, oh great, I'm basically like an elderly person. But I mean, honestly, I basically am. Like in a lot of ways, like I mean, I've worked with older people before, so I kind of have a soft spot for like elderly older people a lot of times, not always, depending on the person, of course, but I don't know. But especially when I saw that, I was like, all right, I had to be able to do this. You know what I mean? Like just keep this pace for at least a little while. So, but yeah, as it progressed, I did, thank gosh, start to feel better. And especially keeping it at that pace, like under 5, that's usually pretty doable for me. Like that's just kind of a nice light jog, like, you know, just like casual, you know, to where I could hold a conversation if somebody were next to me that I wanted to talk to, or like, I don't know, that kind of thing. So, but yeah, eventually, because I started to feel better, I was like, yay. And then eventually, as I got, you know, like closer to like past the hour, and like closer to I was like, all right, eventually I realized I was like, I'm going to do as much time of this as I can squeeze in. I was like, I know I'm not going to get the full 99 minutes, but I want to get as much of the time on this thing as I can get while still being able to get to the club on time afterwards. So, and that would have been about 90 minutes, which is what it was, or ended up being. So, um, yeah, I just eventually, well, I do like the number 7. So eventually, once I got past 5 miles, I was like, or especially as I was approaching 5 miles, I was like, I want to get at least a 10K. I was like, I started wanting to get the 5K. I was like, now I want the 10K. So, but then I was like, all right, well, a 10K is so close to 7 miles that I was like, let's just pick up the pace, you know, to try to get 7. Because then I knew I wasn't going to be satisfied with the 10K. I was like, I want 7 because that's just a nice number to me. It's my shoe size. So I did eventually end up picking up the speed to, yeah, like 5.5. And then especially as I got towards like the latter half of that workout, like closer to the 5-6 miles and stuff, I picked it up to a speed of 6. So, oh yeah, because I remember it was like shortly after the 5 miles, I picked it up to a speed of 6, and I was like, I'm gonna keep it at the speed of 6 until I get to 6 miles or close to it. Like between 5 and 6 miles, I'll keep it at 6. So I did that, and a speed of 6 on the treadmill, that's when it's like really a challenge for me, and like really, especially if I'm PMSing. Like normally I wouldn't try to do a speed of 6 if I'm PMSing like that, but again, I was feeling better at that point, and I knew I wasn't going to be keeping it at that speed for very long. I just was trying to test it out, see how I felt, and I felt like I was doing pretty good with it. Like last Wednesday, when I did my work at the gym last Wednesday, I was getting a little bit of a nosebleed, because here at the club, they've been using a lot of this smoky stuff. It's like a smoke machine special effects that they use, usually later towards like for the night shift, like later in the night. For quite a while, not that long ago, they really weren't using that for the slower shifts that I usually do. It seemed like it was mostly just like a Friday and Saturday night, maybe a Thursday night kind of thing. So, but I don't know, within the past couple of months, pretty recently, they've also started to use it the nights that I work. And so last night, for example, they were using it, and they put it on like kind of early, and towards the end of the night, there was just nobody there. And that's especially where it gets to be, to me, this kind of thing where it's like, is that really necessary? Like, just shut it off at that point, because they're just wasting it. Like, you know, I get it if there's people there. Like, in that case, yes, I will admit it might be a beneficial thing for the atmosphere and for the audience, for the customers there, to help them try to get into the show or the theatrics or whatever. But if there's nobody there at the club, like no customers towards the end of the night like that, which is often the case, the slower shifts that I work, that's when I just really don't get it, you know? So it's like, so that's how it was last night. You know, it was just pretty much all of the other dancers had left because there were no customers left. And that smoke had already been going for hours and hours. It was just kind of a ghost town. And this happens a lot, you know, like I said, like the slower shifts that I work. So I think at that point, towards the end of the night like that, it was just Taz and I left for dancers at the club. Pretty much all the other dancers had already left because there were no customers left there. So it was just Taz and I, like, kind of taking turns going on stage and stuff, even though there was nobody there by the stage. And yeah, it's like, you know, come on, at that point, just shut it off. But they don't, you know, it's, but anyway, so I am very allergic to that smoke stuff, and I don't know, It's not as bad nowadays, thank gosh, as it was some years ago. I think they've switched to a different product, like a different brand, and this brand seems to be definitely, like, a little bit better as far as, like, the ingredients in the fluid that they use for that, but I still do have, like, reactions and stuff. So sometimes I'll get nosebleeds, especially, like, when I'm really exerting myself at the gym and stuff. So that happened last Wednesday. It did not happen today, and I was really checking for it, like, I was really because when I work out, my nose will sometimes tend to drip. Sorry, I know that's gross, but it happens. It's a thing. So I was really trying to be careful and check today to see if like it was, if I was starting to see any red when I went to like dab my nose. And I didn't, it didn't happen today. So I was actually feeling pretty good today. And I felt pretty bad earlier, like when I was going into the gym, I was not feeling good. But this is just one of those days where, yeah, the working out actually made me feel better. And I love when that happens. That's just such a great feeling. So I feel much better now. And yeah, like especially when I'm PMSing, there are so many times where I will really, if I'm even able to get myself to the gym at all, I'll start off kind of how I did earlier, like really trying to push myself, but there are so many times where I'm just not able to do it. And as much as I want to, as much as I try, I just won't be able to like run or jog at all. I'll have to walk. And even with the walking, honestly, walking just really doesn't do it for me. It doesn't get my heart rate up enough. It doesn't get me sweaty, really. It doesn't like excite me. It's like, honestly, to me, walking is kind of just boring. I know it's still like a healthy thing to do and it's still like it can be beneficial like for cardiovascular health, and I'm not knocking it or anything, like I'll still do it, but I think because I'm so used to like jogging and sometimes even kind of running, and I just like to get mileage. I just, I like how it just kind of like gets me, like it perks me up. Like it's a challenge. That's one of the things I really like to do for exercise. So yeah, like just being so used to doing that, like walking just doesn't really cut it for me. But anyway, so yeah, today was just one of those days where lo and behold, the workout made me feel better rather than worse. And I was actually able to do it. And I feel so much better now. So that I really, really love when that happens. So that's definitely a positive thing for today. And also, so back to Taz. Taz, if you're watching, if you ever watch this, I love you so much. You're so awesome. So yeah, last Wednesday, because I was saying how Taz and I were the last two dancers last night. I'm pretty sure that was also the case last Wednesday, because up until last night, I hadn't been to the gym since last Wednesday, but I also hadn't worked here at the club until last Wednesday. For a while now, I've been taking Thursday, Friday, and Saturday off from the club, primarily to try to avoid that smoke stuff. Although at this point, for pretty recently now, yeah, for the past couple of months or so, or something like that, they've been additionally using the smoke, even the slower shifts that I work. So at this point, I'm kind of like debating, like, should I just try to, if I'm gonna be exposed to that smoke stuff anyways now, even the slower shifts that I usually do, maybe I should just really try to get over it and do the other nights too. But I don't know. I still, at this point, I still just am sticking with what I've been doing, I guess, for now. But anyways, so last Wednesday, I'm pretty sure that night it was also, yeah, one of those nights where it was just kind of like really slow and just really dying down, kind of like a ghost town towards the end of the night, where Taz and I were pretty much the only dancers left, like willing to go on stage, or probably even just at the club at all at that point. Because usually if there's no customers left at the club, most of the other dancers will just leave. So, I mean, it makes sense, but for me personally, I don't know, I just like to finish things when I'm able to, or I'm I'm used to kind of just doing that at this point, like finishing the night, like until we close usually, or I really like to be on stage, you know? So, and also, yeah, like it is still really cold out. So I'm usually still trying to get that additional time on stage to try to get myself warm, or like warmer at least, to warm my body up before going back outside at the end of the night. So anyways, I was pretty much doing that. I think it was actually Taz called on stage for like the last set of the night last Wednesday. And there were no customers. Like I said, it was like one of those nights where it was just completely slow and nobody there at that point, and for most of like the end of the night like that. So with that being the case, I was like, oh Taz, like, do you want to do a double? Because I really did just want to get on stage to warm myself up. And she was like, okay. And so, but then I think once Taz came out to see the stage and realized there was no guys and like no customers there, she was kind of just like, oh, never mind. Like she didn't really feel like going on stage anymore. So I did still, because again, I wanted to warm myself up. But what I ended up doing is, it was one of those times where I was able to go upside down on the pole and do some pole tricks with my socks rolled all the way up. So I've mentioned that before a few times in other videos, where that's still a pretty recent thing for me. It's weird for me to think about now, because, well, like not that long ago, I mean, maybe just a couple months ago, definitely for the first time this winter, the first time that I climbed the pole with my socks rolled all the way up like that, it was actually by accident. And it was one of those nights where I was just so tired and out of it towards the end of the night, probably PMSing, you know, I would imagine, had been the case probably, because I was just really tired that night. And yeah, I mean, it is really cold, you know, with winter and stuff. So, and a lot of the times in the club, it's really cold. So I will, when I'm not on stage, with it being so cold, usually in the club, I will have my socks rolled all the way up when I'm not on stage. But then when I am on stage, usually, or up until just recently, if I knew that I wanted to go on the pole, which I normally do, I would have to remember to roll my socks down. You know, because to try to climb the pole and do pole tricks with my socks rolled all the way up to my upper thighs like that, I mean, I don't know, 70, 80, almost 90% of what you're gripping the pole with when you climb up a big pole like that it's your legs and the skin on your legs. So you want as much skin on your legs as possible to make contact with the pole, to try to grip the pole like that with the skin on your legs. So with my socks rolled all the way up to my upper thighs, covering the large majority of my legs, probably again 70, 80, 90% of my legs are covered with the thick socks like that, there really isn't a whole lot of, well, there isn't really like skin on my legs left to grip the pole with, other than just the very, very tops of my thighs, which those aren't coming into contact with the pole until I'm done climbing it and I'm ready to just try to like tilt my hips and kind of perch, kind of like pause and just almost like sit on the top of the pole. But the actual climbing process itself, that is, there's no skin contact, there's no skin on my legs coming into contact with the pole, or able to really, when I'm climbing it with my socks rolled up like that. So I'm just fighting against the the socks kind of being slippery against the pole. And yeah, it's definitely more of a challenge that way. Yeah, the first time that I did that, maybe a couple months ago, it again was by accident. And I remember I was like halfway up the pole when I realized what I was doing, and I looked down, and that's when I realized, like halfway through or halfway up the pole, that my socks were still rolled up. And I was like, oh crap, I got so freaked out. I was like, what do I do? What do I do? But I was already pretty much halfway towards the top, so I just continued to the top and then found a way to roll them down once I got up there. But I don't know, a little while after that, maybe like a few weeks later, I had been on stage for a while and I was really warmed up. Like my skin had more of like a sticky kind of grip to it. You know how like you get sometimes when you're like working out for a while and like kind of getting sweaty and stuff. So I was like, you know what? I was feeling kind of froggy for some reason. I was like, let's just try climbing the pole with my socks rolled up. So I did, and I was actually able to do it pretty good. And it kind of just progressed from there to where, like, now it's something that I can do on a pretty regular basis. Like, I was doing it a lot last night. I've been doing it a lot, like, the past couple of weeks. Just in general, like, a lot last week, the week before that. It's just something that I'm kind of doing pretty frequently lately. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I'm getting pretty comfortable with it. It's still a challenge, of course, but a lot less so than before. Yeah, I'm just getting more comfortable with it to where it's kind of just a thing for me now. Um, and now, like, when I'm really warmed up and when I'm really feeling pretty good and pretty confident up there, I can also additionally do pole tricks, like upside down with the socks rolled up. Because at first, not at first, but well, yeah, like, it kind of progressed from climbing the pole with the socks rolled up by accident the first time, a couple months ago, and then it kind of progressed to climbing the pole with my socks rolled up on purpose, and it kind of continued to progress from there to now, where I've realized I'm additionally able to do pole tricks upside down with the socks rolled up as well. So it's been a progression. But this winter has definitely been a first for me with that kind of thing. Definitely. I know I never used to do that before at all. So I used to think it was a challenge to climb the pole with fishnet stockings. And I used to be able to climb the pole with fishnet stockings years and years ago. But for the past few years, I hadn't even felt confident enough to try doing that anymore. So to do it with all of that solid fabric, now is pretty cool to me. Yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. So, but anyway, so this past Wednesday, towards the end of the night, yeah, I guess Taz decided not to do that double because she realized there were no customers there. And so it was just me up there kind of trying to warm myself up. And I did eventually warm myself up because I was up there for, quite a few songs. And I ended up doing, yeah, like that kind of stuff with my socks rolled up, going upside down the pole, doing pole tricks that way. But Taz actually thought to get a video of that, you guys. I didn't ask her to, but it's really funny to me because I remember being up there, and she was, even though she wasn't on the stage, she was near the stage, and she was kind of just sitting off, like on the side of the stage, like on her phone. And I do remember thinking to myself, like, oh gosh, like I wish I could get a video of this. Or I kind of almost wanted to call over to Taz and be like, could you maybe film that? Like, but at that point I was already upside down and like doing stuff. So I wasn't gonna like try to shout over the music, like, oh hey, like by the way. But she just kind of did it on her own. I guess she just, yeah, just started filming me up there. While I was upside down the pole with the socks doing some pole tricks. And she told me about it afterwards, and I was like, what? And yeah, she showed it to me. She sent it to my phone. And I just thought that was so sweet of her. Like, that was just really thoughtful. And it's almost like she read my mind too. Like, because I had actually kind of been thinking that, either before she did it or probably around that same time. But yeah, I didn't even have to ask her. She just thought to do it. And I thought that was so sweet. So I don't know. I haven't really been going on my phone that much the past few days. So when she sent that to my phone, it was the very, very end of the night. And usually at the end of the night like that, yeah, like once I have been on the stage for a bit to warm my body up that way, immediately after that, I'm just like, all right, I got to get my street clothes on and my layers on as quickly as possible to try to conserve this body heat while I'm still warm, to try to keep my body warm before going back outside. So that's just my mentality, and it's almost like a very frantic kind of like survivalist like mode that I'm in, where it's like I just know how cold it's going to be outside, and I know that I don't have the heat on in the apartment that I'm going to afterwards. So I'm just very, very focused and very, very concerned about trying to conserve my body heat and that I've been able to generate, and just kind of trap it towards my body with whatever clothing I you know, had been wearing into the club earlier or like for that night. So anyways, but also, this is a new phone that I'm on for like I just got this phone pretty recently. So my old photos and videos, I have over like 50,000 of them, I'm pretty sure it says. So because I have so many of them, it's been a while for those older pictures and videos from all the years prior to sync to this new phone. So with that being the case, I wasn't really sure, like with the video she sent me in a text message last Wednesday that she had filmed of me on stage, I wasn't really sure how to try to download it or if I should try to download it while my old photos were still syncing. Honestly, I don't think I've ever downloaded a video from a text message before. I've downloaded pictures that people have sent me in text messages, but I don't think I've ever downloaded a video. I really don't know how to do anything like with technology or like on my phone, honestly. So I'm still, but also, like obviously the club music would be playing in the background, and I've had issues trying to upload videos like that with the club music in the background. Like a lot of times I'll either get a copyright, well, I'll always get a copyright for it, but then even if that doesn't happen, I think if the videos are under 3 minutes, they just won't upload it all to my channel, because I know I had tried to do that before a while ago, and if they're under 3 minutes, then YouTube wants to consider them a short. And I guess with short videos, or like it's like a separate section of types of videos on YouTube. With those videos under 3 minutes, which I'm pretty sure hers would have been, but yeah, if there's music in the background, like here at the club, I'm pretty sure they just won't upload on my channel. I'm sure, like, obviously, I'm sure other YouTubers, like, know how to do that kind of thing. But again, because I really don't know how to do a whole lot of stuff with technology, and I'm still pretty new to YouTube, and I don't really have, like, a tutorial. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't really have anyone else that I'm aware, like, that I know in real life that also does YouTube to where they might know how to do stuff like that. So yeah, I'm just kind of wary about, like, I'm not really too sure what to try to. But she's so cute. Taz is so cute because, yeah, like after she sent it to me, she was like, or when she was telling me about it, she was like, yeah, I thought it might be good for your channel and stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh. So that's just another nice thing. I am gonna try to look into a little more, like if I might be able to find a way to upload it to my channel. Maybe I could just try to find a way to not have to shut off the music in the background somehow, or I don't know. I'm gonna try to look into it when I can, but I just thought that was so sweet of her, because it was, you know, just really thoughtful. And also on that note, she found these that she let me borrow. There are these little ankle cuffs, so I just love stuff like this, you know. It's supposed to go around your ankle, like a little ankle cuff. So I had been asking to borrow these for a while, and she was able to get into her old locker last night, and she found these. So she's like, here, you can borrow them. I was like, oh, thank you so much. So that's another nice thing for today. Oh gosh, what was the other thing? Okay, so one other thing I can remember off the top of my head. So back to the smoke. Guys, it's really cold in here. It's so cold. Oh god. At least my phone seems to be holding the battery charge pretty good, a lot better than compared to my old phone, but it's like really cold in here. So like I do have notes with me here today, the same notes that I had yesterday. I had these same 2 pages with me yesterday. I really didn't get to hardly anything on them. I also have additional like side notes on vegetable wrappers, and I don't really think, yeah, I'm just probably not even gonna be able to get into any of this. It's just too cold. Okay, so the ones on the back especially are so random. I want to say just so bad real quick what they are. But back to the thing I was just thinking of, the other good thing that comes to mind, like off the top of my head. Okay, so back to the smoke stuff here at the club. That part is obviously bad for me because I'm so allergic to it. But I do seem, like I was saying, I do seem to be a little bit less allergic to the stuff they've been using now in comparison to the stuff that they had been using years ago, my reactions to the stuff they had used years ago was much, much worse. And with that older stuff from years prior, I had gotten a pretty bad rash on my back from that. I'm pretty sure that's what it was from, because the particular area on my back where most of that rash was, it was the area on my back and on my side that comes into contact with the pole the most when I do most of my pole tricks. So this particular spot, it's where my favorite pole tricks to do, or like some of my favorite pole tricks to do. I would say they're my favorite. They're my most challenging probably, but still my favorite, if that makes sense. But yeah, to do those pole tricks, this is pretty much the spot that's like really, really, with a lot of those pole tricks, I'm basically gripping the pole primarily, if not just only with this spot. So that's where that rash had been for a while. And I mean, I had that rash for years. And I've mentioned before a few times, like, I really don't have health insurance or go to doctors or stuff like that. I mean, yeah, I don't have health insurance, so I really can't afford to do that kind of thing. I'm also terrified of doctors anyways. I'm terrified of anything medical. Just that whole like set and setting, it just really freaks me out. The whole vibe of that kind of thing just is like a big no for me. I will try to avoid that. Like, I don't have to try really to avoid it, but that's just a no for me. Just no. Oh, so yeah, I really didn't know what to do about that rash, like, for a while. I kind of just assumed that it was most likely an allergy, like yet another symptom of that stuff, especially with the spot, with the location that it was, again, where my back was coming into contact with the pole the most. So, but anyways, I was saying recently how, okay, well, that rash especially would act up in the summertime. I noticed I would still have it in the winter, like, I don't know, the last few years, I guess. Guys, I can honestly remember having that rash back in 2020, which is awful. But I honestly can, because I remember I was working with older people then, and one of them had like this special ointment for like something that she had. And I remember like reading the label on the ointment one time and just like wondering if it would work for my back, but I never tried it because it was hers, and I didn't know if what I had was like, if that stuff would have, I didn't even know what I had for the rat, you know what I mean? So, but I did wonder about it. And I can remember clearly having that rash all the way back then, which is disgusting, obviously. Like, that's obviously just bad, but that rash though is just like one of many, many, many symptoms that I've had to that smoke stuff. And I've also mentioned before my allergy to that smoke stuff, and that smoke stuff they've been using here at the club. That's been a pretty serious issue for me, going on for just many, 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 many years. But so because they had recently switched versions of that, like, they've kind of, I guess, experimented with different versions and different brands of that stuff throughout the years. Oh God, there's like condensation on my windshield right now, and I'm just like really hoping it's not gonna drip on my phone. Holy crap. That better not. I'm gonna wrap this up in a few minutes anyways, but because it's so cold in here, but holy crap, that's freaking me out right now. I don't see any drip drops like actually ready to drip down like onto the dash, but I mean, it's raining, right? It's like snowing and raining right now, so I can see drip drops on the outside, but I can also feel like the condensation coming through to the inside, but not actually getting ready to drip down. But I feel like it could if I'm not like careful. I don't know. I'm kind of freaking out right now about that, but holy crap. With the, okay, so with the new stuff, with the new, yeah, they've experimented, I guess, with different brands, different versions, different types of this smoke stuff throughout the years. And very recently, the one that they've switched to I guess, yeah, most recently seems to be the better, less, I don't know. It seems to be the maybe healthier version. I don't really know how to put it, but my, I mean, they've specifically said this, one of the managers that I've talked to about it. It's supposed to be more of like a hypoallergenic, water-based, maybe, I don't know exactly, but something like that. And I have noticed, I mean, I still have symptoms, but definitely less so and less severe. Um, Sometimes I'll still get really congested. Sometimes I'll get like kind of mild nosebleeds, but like right now, they were using it last night a lot, and right now I'm really not that congested. I could feel it, and I didn't get a nosebleed on the treadmill earlier, like I did last Wednesday. But like, so I did feel it, like my breathing being compromised a little bit on the treadmill today, but I don't know. I guess that could be other things too. I don't know. I try to tell myself what I can. I really do try. I know it might not always seem that way, but I really do try to like keep a positive attitude or have a positive attitude. Like I really do try to, like, you know what I mean, tell myself what I can and just like try to look at the upsides, or even just lie to myself when I have to, if that's what it's going to take, you know what I mean? But anyway, so with this new smoke stuff, this new version, this new brand that they've had recently, and because it's not summer, obviously, like it's been winter, it's technically spring right now, but it still feels like winter and looks like winter right now. So again, with this rash that I've had in my back, it does seem to be heat sensitive. And I mean, I myself am very heat sensitive. I'm cold sensitive. I'm heat sensitive. I'm just temperature sensitive. Okay. And summer's here, as cold as it is in the winter and most of the year here, summer's here just mostly July and August, but sometimes even June or sometimes even May will get like pretty much unbearably hot for a brief amount of time compared to the rest of the year and how cold it is. But again, still like over 90 for a while, you know. So yeah, I've noticed this rash in my back in the summer months like that will tend to get worse and more noticeable. But then also, because it's so cold in the winter, I really don't notice it or look at it that much. Like I just kind of forget to even look for it because it's so cold that I'm just usually wearing layers and I have that part of my body just covered in clothing. And even back at the apartment I stay at, again, I don't have the heat on in there, and it's been that way for a while. So when I'm there, like even just to shower, it's like my mentality is to get in and get out of the shower and get clothing back on my body as quickly as possible because it's just so cold in there. So I'm not really thinking to look in the mirror and check my back for that rash because my mentality is just not there. Again, my mentality is like, I gotta get my body warm in the shower, and immediately after that, it's so freezing cold in there, I'm like, I gotta dry off and get clothing back on my body ASAP, as quickly as possible. So I just haven't thought all this winter, I hadn't really thought to look at that rash. And even here at the club, it's like, I'm usually still wearing my hoodies at the club. It's usually still pretty cold in the club a lot of times, a lot of places in there. So I just haven't really thought to check my back for that rash for a while, but I did the other day and it's pretty much gone. Fine. I don't know. We'll have to see come this summer. This summer will really be the test for that because again, that's when it seems to get worse, that kind of thing. And I can still see like very, very mild, like kind of trace spots where it used to be. Like I can see where it was a little bit here, but it's nothing like it was, like nothing like it was. It's compared to what it had been, it looks like it's about 90 to 95% gone. Again, it's just like bare little traces back there that are kind of barely still visible, but it's practically gone. So I mean, the vast majority, again, 90-95%, I'll take that, especially after all that time that I had it, you know, and how bad it had been for a while. So I'll have to check it again today. I'll try to remember to check it again later tonight. But I mean, I detected a few days ago, and now would probably also be a good time to check it though, because I have just been at the gym. I mean, I'm freezing in here in my car right now, but you guys could probably tell when I started this video, my cheeks were still kind of red from the gym. So I had been like really I'm cold now, obviously. Oh God, my cheeks are no longer red. But they were. So I was like warming my body up, obviously, at the gym. My face was like beet red when I left there. So that might have, I'll try to remember to check my back later tonight if I can remember to do so. My point, however, is that just a few days ago, I did remember to check it and it was pretty much gone. So I was so shocked and just so amazed by that and so happy to see that. Yeah, so that's definitely a good thing. So yeah, these two main pages, these two main papers, same ones from yesterday. Obviously, like anyone that's watched my videos before recently, I still have all of these. I still have all of the other ones from the other days and times before. So eventually, maybe I'll get to those at some point, sometime. However, these from yesterday and also days, I'll get to these hopefully sooner than those, or these are the next in line basically. But also my vegetable wrappers as well. But okay, so before I forget, look, I've been at the gym for a while, and when I go to the gym, I wear, well, this is my tank top. This tank top drives me nuts because the straps are not adjustable. And so the shoulder straps are always falling off my shoulders. And I'm literally like almost the entire time I'm on the treadmill, I'm like trying to pull the straps back over my shoulders. And I'll do that for a while. And then eventually I'll just give up and pull the straps off my shoulders and just try to roll the tank top in a way to where it's not going to completely fall off. Or in summer, it gets so unbearably hot that I will, when I'm at the gym like that, sometimes even when I'm like, if it's that hot, like that bad, sometimes I will literally just wear this and I won't even deal with the tank top anymore. But obviously I try not to do that because it just, I don't want my top pillows to like pop out, you know, like accidentally. That would be embarrassing. But this is my bra that I usually wear. This is my favorite sports bra, and it's still damp right now. But it tie-dyed my shirt that I was wearing. This didn't happen today. I was not wearing this today. I'm pretty sure this is from last Wednesday or at some point last week probably, but I kind of like it. I'm not mad about it. Honestly, I want the whole thing to be like that now. I don't want it to just be this bottom part. How can I make it the whole thing? I'll have to wear this top like upside down next time. The thing with this top is these straps don't really fall off as bad, or like hardly at all. So this is a lot more enjoyable for me to wear at the gym because, or like a lot less annoying. I don't like that top very much at all. I like that it covers my stomach more, but I really don't like the straps. They drive me nuts. But I really like this top. I also have this top in black. Well, I did. I hope I still do. I hope I still have it. Oh God, I shouldn't say that, should I? Yeah, honestly, I want the whole shirt to look like this now. I'll try to find a way to make that happen. Isn't it cute? Yeah, this is one thing I ain't mad at. I ain't mad about that. I like it. So that's kind of nice. Okay. Ooh. Sorry, that's gross. I have like wig hairs like poking into my ears too now. There's nobody in this parking lot. There was nobody in this parking lot when I started this video, and I'll be honest, I was kind of hoping at some point in this video, in the stream, my family would pull into the parking lot, but he hasn't. And well, normally on Monday he gets here at 7 or so, or maybe 6:30. It's not even 5:30 yet, so that's fine. But I'm pretty sure last Monday he got here early. I'm pretty sure. Anyways, I still have to try to work up the guts to ask him when his next shift is, or when he's leaving literally in a couple weeks at this point. He's leaving like the 1st or 2nd week of April. Pretty much the 1st week of April, because I think he said the 9th. So even if you want to call that the second week of April, it's the very start of the second week of April. It's not like it's so soon, you guys. Like, somebody said that I should get him a cake. I don't know if he even likes cake, and I'm scared to ask him. That's so awkward to ask someone, because it's like, hey, by the way, when's your last shift gonna be? Oh, and by the way, do you like cake? Like, what? Oh God, you guys. One of the girls that works here said that he was working this past Saturday, and I asked him that last week, and he was like, he said he wasn't. But I literally saw the schedule on his phone that she showed me the schedule, not on his phone. I literally saw the schedule on her phone before I asked him. I mean, the schedule's not always that accurate, I guess. It switches around a lot, but because she was saying how she wanted to celebrate her birthday like this past Saturday for the day shift, which is like, Saturday day shift here is like one of the deadest shifts you could ever like be on, honestly. But I used to do that shift all the time. Specifically when he used to work those shifts, I used to come in for those shifts just because he was working those shifts not that long ago, mostly last year, like last summer. Actually, I think I did my first ever, I know I did my first ever YouTube video last summer, last August, at the end of one of those Saturday day shifts. Because I remember I did, yeah, my very video I did on a Saturday. It was a Saturday after a Saturday day shift here at the club. I had been duct taping my phone thing. I had been spending hours that day shift because those day shifts are so slow. I had been out in the parking lot here rather than being out in the parking lot here doing the video. I mean, I did that later on. Well, actually, that was a different parking lot, but in this parking lot, in the club parking lot that day, I had been in my car for hours, like duct taping my phone to the dashboard, and also duct taping some of the stuff in the back. I won't get into that right now. I was trying to like duct tape the doors shut and stuff, and oh God. Yep, that duct tape's still back there. Anyway, I went through almost the entire roll of it. We won't get into that right now. It's too cold in here. Yeah, this girl was saying that she was gonna be working this last Saturday, and I was about to try to come in for that day. But then when I asked him about it, he said that he wasn't, and he was like, oh no, she's just crazy. But when he said that, I don't know, I kind of felt like I'm crazy myself for even asking him, or just because I would come in specifically if he had been working that day. Or like, I almost felt like he was like calling me crazy, which I guess I am probably, but I'm also like crazy about him, and I don't know, just in a good way. Like, I'm gonna miss him so much, and I don't know, it's just not gonna be the same, you know, like when that kind of thing happens sometimes. Just so yeah, I felt bad that I wasn't able to come in this past Saturday for that girl's birthday, but she literally said that that was just going to be her last shift that she was doing before she left for vacation for her birthday. So it's not like she didn't have plans for her birthday. She said she was going on vacation for her birthday. So I really don't feel that bad about it. Also, I really don't know her that well. Like, she's not somebody that I'm like super close with, or like, I like her, you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, like, she's friendly enough and she seems pretty chill, but I don't really know her that well, and I wouldn't know like what to do like last minute like that to try to like do something for her birthday. I was trying to think of something, but also I've been PMSing and I really wasn't even able to get out of bed this past week. Like, I probably would have tried harder to do it if my favorite manager had been working that day like she said he was, but he said he wasn't, so I was obviously just gonna go on his word with what he said. I don't know. I feel weird for even asking, and I'm gonna feel weird asking him if I do work up the guts to ask him when his last shift is gonna be. That's gonna be weird to ask too, you know, like even weirder, a lot weirder. Like, well, not, I don't know. It's not really that weird, is it? Like, we worked together a lot for a couple years now, for a few years. I don't know. So I'm also gonna try not to lose these. It's so cold in here, you guys, like it's freezing. I'm gonna wrap this up in a few minutes. I started this video at 4:24. It is 5:24, so this should be an hour, just over an hour. So okay, so these are front and back, these little vegetable wrappers. Side notes, we'll call them. I'm not gonna say the main stuff on the front, but on the back of these, there's also like additional, even smaller, like sidier side notes. And these are really random. For one of these, it says, I wanted to talk about ping pong versus tennis versus badminton. I wanted to talk about, I wanted to start to like get into the differences between the three of those things and like compare and contrast, I guess. Well, I've never played tennis. I don't like ping pong. I don't want to get into it now, but it's been a while since I've played it. I really haven't played it very much before, partly because partly because I don't really ever come and like have the opportunity, or I wouldn't say I don't have the opportunity, it just doesn't present, like I'm not really around ping pong tables very often. But I'm fine with that because something about ping pong, I know what it is. There's many things and I know what they are, but again, I'm not going to get into that right now. But ping pong is obnoxious to me, guys, like more obnoxious than me even. Like the table's too small. I want to whack that ball far and wide, and I feel like the space is just too small. Like, what are you supposed to do with that? Ping pong is ridiculous to me. Tennis, I've never played. I was telling myself for the longest time that I want to play tennis, that I want to try it. Honestly, I do. I guess I still want to try it. Sure, why not? But I know I probably wouldn't like it. It would wear me out. It would exhaust me. I know it would. All that running back and forth. I feel like it's kind of the same idea where the ping pong, or like vice versa almost, because like the ping pong table is too small. The tennis court is kind of too big. Like yeah, I like to get exercise, but I wouldn't be able to run fast enough to hit that thing. Are you kidding me? I would suck at tennis. I know that I would. And I would get very frustrated. I know I would. Badminton, however, let me just say, I played badminton back in gym. Badminton is perfect to me. I love badminton. I know it seems kind of silly because it's just like this little like lightweight fluttery thing. It almost like flies through the air by itself practically. It's just so cute. I love badminton. I really do. And I wanted to talk about that. I want to get into this more sometime. Ping pong versus tennis versus badminton. Don't ask me where that came from. Oh, I know where it came from, because I had watched some random video on YouTube where somebody was playing ping pong. Yes, that's where it came from. Anyways, okay. The other thing on this side, because I think I had a dream. I don't know if I had a dream about this. I don't know where this came from. This one, I really don't know where this came from. I don't remember having a dream about this, but I think that might be where this came from. Or I just randomly had this weird thought, but I'm pretty sure I had a dream about this, but I can't really remember the dream. Anyways, wouldn't it be crazy to play hide and seek in the mall? Okay, because like you want to like talk about an intense game of hide and seek. A mall, you guys, like a mall. Wow, that would be a challenge. That's fun to think about. That's one of those things that's actually kind of like fun to think about to me. It's a little stressful though. It's kind of like overwhelming because obviously like one of the big rules would be you can't leave the mall. You obviously can't leave the mall. Like there's already so much space in the mall. Like why would you want to leave anyways? That would obviously defeat the purpose. Like there's already too much spaces and too many places to hide in a mall to begin with. Like you're never going to find the person. It would take all day and night. It would take like a week to find someone. In most cases, probably, unless you just like find the crappiest hiding spot ever. But why? It'd be so easy not to find a bad hiding spot in the mall because like I just like the possibilities are endless. Like that would be such an intense game of hide and seek. Like that would. Did I have a dream about that, or I really wonder. If I did, I wish I could remember the dream, but I definitely don't. But I'm assuming, I think that might be where that came from. I don't know why else that weird random idea would just pop into my head like that. So again, I have to kind of assume it must have been a dream or something. I don't know. But anyways, enough of this. It's so cold in here. And yeah, my favorite manager still in here. But it's only 5:30, and again, I guess usually on Mondays, I'm pretty sure he doesn't really get here until 6:30, so no big deal, no big deal. You know what? I'm excited to wear this. However, it's so cold still lately that I've been wearing these stupid boots still, and in order to wear this, I have to wear like just regular platform slide heels with like pretty much no socks. I'm so cold right now. I'll see how the dressing room is. If the dressing room isn't, a lot of times the dressing room is freezing. It's like especially this cold spot of the club where my locker is. That dressing room especially is usually so cold, like freezing cold. Pretty much feels like the apartment that I stay at level cold, like without the heat on, just freezing. But last night, oh, another nice thing. Okay, so last night, I was saying usually, more often than not, the dressing room where my locker is, that dressing room is freezing. However, every now and then it's not. Last night, it really wasn't. Last night, it was pretty nice up there. So if maybe by chance that will happen again tonight, I could maybe actually wear my just like kind of platform slide heels without the socks, and I could wear these. If not, if it's going to be back to freezing tonight, which it might very well be, I don't know. I'll just have to like save this, I guess, for, I don't know. I'll ask Taz and see what she thinks, if she wouldn't mind if maybe I just borrow it for longer than just tonight. Or she's so sweet. It's just, aw. That was another thing that I wanted to talk more about, like, for this video, is like Taz in Paris, and like, because again, I know my video yesterday was just like me complaining so much, but I am really blessed. Like, I know that I'm blessed and I have a lot of things to be really thankful for, and I am really thankful for a lot of things. And like at the top of that list, like what really comes to mind a lot, especially, is like a lot of people here at the club, and especially a lot of the dancers and employees too. But yeah, like the dancers, especially, just like my girls, you know, like I don't have sisters. I have one younger half brother, so I've never had sisters. I've never, like, by blood or like literal, like actual sisters, but like here at the club, I feel like the dancers, like a lot of them feel kind of like sisterly, like, you know, almost like a sisterhood in a way, in a lot of ways. And yeah, like I never really had cousins or like biological, like my younger brother, like half brother's dad, his side of the family had many people, many like kids and stuff. So I kind of had like the cousin experience from that. But again, it wasn't really, they're not really my biological cousins. So they're still awesome. I still had a great time with them. I'm still really thankful to have gotten to experience that with them. But I don't know, like we're not in contact anymore, you know, like I don't think they probably don't think about me or like miss me, or they haven't really reached out to me, or a part of me wants to try to reach out to them, but I just don't really, like, I feel like it's been too long, you know what I mean? Like it's been long enough to where now it's like I just don't really know how to like initiate that process, and I'm just too kind of like shy and socially awkward and anxious, and like overthink stuff like that, I guess. I don't know, maybe someday I could, but like I've looked them up on Facebook sometimes from time to time, and they just all seem like normal people, like married with kids, like regular lives and regular jobs, you know. So with that especially, I feel like it would just be so awkward and weird and kind of random for like me, like this kind of black sheep, like not biologically related part of the family at all, as a stripper too, to just be like, oh hey, like this is what I'm up to. Like, you know. And on my Facebook I have like all this stuff like about the club, like pictures of me on the pole and like videos of me on the pole here at the club, or I did. Also, I actually haven't been able to log into my Facebook for a while, which really does suck. I don't want to just give up on that completely, But it is really frustrating because, yeah, I'm the kind of person that forgets my passwords to stuff a lot. Like, other people that possibly might hack into my accounts probably know my passwords, or apparently know my passwords more than I do. So I just I just forget everything. Like, I forget my account name, I forget my passwords, I forget my emails. Like, I'm just really, really bad about that kind of thing. It's embarrassing, I know, but oh well. Like, so yeah, I forgot, I guess, my password to my Facebook. So I tried to have them send me the code to my phone, and they just weren't sending it. So I guess I'll probably still go back and try again, like at some point in the future. But I kind of just wanted to take a little break from that because it was overwhelming me and just stressing me out too much. Like, because I kept trying it for a while not that long ago, and even before that I had tried a bunch of times, like maybe some weeks prior to that time trying, and I had been trying like a lot for a while, and it just wasn't happening, it just wasn't working. They just weren't sending me the code to reset my password or whatever. So it was just really, yeah, just stressing me out to where I was just like, you know what, I just need to take a break from bothering with this. But it does really bum me out because I have a lot of stuff on my Facebook that like, you know, means a lot to me. Like, yeah, a lot of stuff that I would consider to be like kind of my work, like pictures and videos from, yeah, me here on stage and on the pole here at the club, like doing pole tricks and stuff, and that kind of thing. There's a big white van pulling into the parking lot. There's like still nobody in this parking lot, but now a big white van is hopefully, no, they're pulling into here. Wait, no, they're not. Nope, okay. No, they're not. They're driving by, never mind. Well, they were pulling into this general area, but they drove past, so they're not pulling into the actual parking lot, thank gosh. It's so cold, you guys, in here. I gotta switch out these earrings. I swear this is not the only pair of earrings that I have. I do have other pairs of earrings. I mean, yeah, it's so cold. Like, it's been so cold and it's still so cold. It's been so cold for a while that I usually just try to cover my ears as much as, you know what I mean? Like, but I kind of have to pull the tops of my wigs over not the tops. I kind of have to pull the perimeter of my wigs over the top parts of my ears, because if I don't, they'll just kind of like, if they rest there too much or like push, they'll kind of make my ears stick out, and I can't stand that. So rather than having my ears stick out from it, I would rather just pull this over the top to kind of like almost pin and push my ears like the opposite, to kind of like pin them more close to my head, because I don't want my ears to stick out like that. so but in doing so, sometimes I'll just kind of pull them all the way down to where it like kind of completely covers my ears. And then, or just like, even besides, like usually this is just pulled in front to where you can't really see the earrings. But again, I do have other earrings, I swear. And well, usually I guess, yeah, in the summer I'll wear different like jewelry and stuff, but in the winter it's just like strictly survival. Like, just don't freeze. You have one job. Well, no, I have many other jobs, but pretty much first and foremost is just don't freeze to death, which does pretty much take, yeah, top priority. And that is frustrating and gets of what could be a lot of other stuff that I probably could and would and should and ideally might also probably try to be focusing on. And I said before, I'll say it again, winter here, my brain my brain is fighting to not just freeze inside of my skull. My brain is freezing in my head, and that makes things a lot harder for me. Because I'm like fighting it and fighting it, but it's like happening, and it's a thing that happens a lot, and I can feel it happening, and it hurts. And yeah, it makes things really hard. It makes things really difficult, like especially so, even more so than they usually just already are on their own. anyways to begin with, just innately, as life so often tends to be. Anyways, this is a happy video. It's cold in here, sorry. Okay, but technically it's spring. Spring has sprung. It just might not feel like it right now, but like even just a few days ago it was kind of getting there. So anyway, on that note, kind of, I guess, I'm going to go inside the club again. I'm going to go back in there and I'm going to get to work. Hopefully later this week, I'll try to remember. Oh, there's that white fan again. They're pulling out. Bye now. Bye. Bye. Bye now. If the weather is, I don't know, I forget, like I said, I'll have to check it, but if maybe we have some nice sort of sunny but not too sunny days later this week, hopefully I can do another video by the airport with the planes like landing and taking off and stuff. I love to be, that's where the gym that I usually go to, like the gym that I was at earlier today, that gym is right near the airport. So that's one of my favorite locations to stream from, aside from the fact that there's really nowhere to park there that's not directly in the sun. So I have to really find like the perfect, like the right kind of weather day for it. Like today actually would have been a good day to do it from there, but actually, okay, so I think overall my favorite location to stream from is probably actually just here, like at the club parking lot, because that's what I'm most used to doing and I just know my favorite parking spots. But other than here at the club, yeah, that area, the gym by the airport that I usually go to, that's probably my second favorite location. However, with that one, like, I can't have it be too sunny of a day, or I would try to have it not be too sunny, because again, there's just nowhere to really park there that's not directly in the sun. It's a very like and also that parking lot, the parking spaces are very, very small. And I remember they redid that parking lot not that long ago. It might have even been last summer that they redid that parking lot, or if not last summer, maybe sometime last year. It was pretty recent that they redid that parking lot. And I just remember, like, I can't understand why they went through all that trouble to just have it be how it is now, because even after them redoing it, the way they did the parking spaces, it's still pretty much the exact same way as it was before, where the parking spaces are way, way, way too small. And I say that as somebody with a pretty small vehicle. Like, my car is on the smaller side. So it's just not a good parking lot to park in, or to try to park in, or to really be in. But what I do like about that parking lot is it's near the airport, so there's the planes and stuff, and I just, you know, I'm so fascinated by planes because, yeah, I don't know, I just am. It's fascinating. I'm pretty sure one of my favorite videos was the one where I was like, should I be a pilot, that I did from there, with my earmuffs. These ones are still here too, and these ones actually match. Right today. But these are really tight on my head. All right, sorry, I'm gonna wrap this up already. And God, it's so cold in here. I'm scared to go back inside the club. There's nobody in the parking lot. But that's good because you know what, I can probably just go right on stage and warm myself up that way. I haven't been in the dressing room yet. I was already in the club earlier to sign in. And also because honestly, I really had to use the bathroom after the gym. We won't go there. God. You guys, maybe we will a little bit. So I have already been in the club because I had to sign in before 4. And I also, well, I try to sign in before 4. So I got here just in time to do that. But I also really had to use the bathroom. So I've been in parts of the club and I've been specifically in the bathroom so far, but I haven't been in the locker room yet. I'm so scared to go in the locker room because I'm scared that it's going to be cold again like it usually is. But so when I went to the bathroom, it was like one of those urgent times. And the song that was playing in the background, right as I was doing that, like running up the stairs to get to the bathroom in time, the song that was playing was perfect for that. It was that song. I actually really like this song. It's that song where it's like, I don't know the name of the artist off the top of my head, but it's like, I only talk to God when I need a favor. And but then the part that he sings after that, it's like, oh my God, Hail Mary. I was kind of almost praying that I was gonna make it to the bathroom in time. And then I did, thank gosh. And as that was happening, he was singing that part where it was like, oh my God, Hail Mary. I was just thinking to myself, like, wow, that like goes with this whole moment and this whole vibe right now. And I was saying, like, you know, I was singing that in my head and almost out loud to myself too, like singing along with the song. Like, you know, just, oh my God, Hail Mary. It was a moment for me. Yeah, for sure. I made it though, I did. Thank gosh. I really don't want to wrap this video up on that note, but I guess I kind of have to. I kind of have to, don't I? Because my phone at this point is almost out of battery charge and it's freezing in here and I'm all done, okay? I'm all done with this right now. So I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are well. If I'm able to come out in time tomorrow, that will be Tinka Tuesday. So hopefully that works out okay. Okay. Somebody else is pulling in the parking lot. Let's see who this is. Who is this? Oh. That's me. No. No, I take it back. I hope they don't ever watch this and like put the pieces together. Like, that was me! Wait a minute. God, I hope people from the club don't watch my videos. Other than Taz and Paris. I have gotten that weird kind of creepy vibe before though. Like weird little looks and comments sometimes to where I'm just like, please no, please no. Oh well. All right. Yes, I hope you guys are well. It's 5:47. Let me just try to compute in my head right now. I started this at 4:24. Those aren't round numbers at all. They're not even numbers. Well, some of them are, maybe, but not even enough for me right now. Especially with my brain freezing in my head pretty much again. I know it's over an hour. 24, 34, 44. It's like an hour, almost an hour and a half, I think. All right. Yes, hopefully I will be able to come back on tomorrow or at least soon, but tomorrow would be great. So I'm going to try for that as best I can. Until then, thank you guys for watching and I hope you guys are well. Bye for now.